What the current computer software platform and trends? Hi, I am Norhani Shahira binti Azman. Today I will explain to you guys subtopic 5.4 in chapter 5 IT infrastructure and emerging technologies for the Management Information System course. In this subtopic, I will explain to you about Linux and open source software. Second, software for the web, Java, HTML and HTML5. Third, web service and service-oriented architecture. And lastly, software outsourcing and cloud service. Open source software is a software produced by a community of several hundred thousand programmers around the world. Open source software is free and can be modified by user. Works derived from the original code must also be free, and the software can be redistributed by the user without additional licensing. Most open source software is currently based on a Linux and Unix operating system. The open source movement has demonstrated that it can produce commercially acceptable, high-quality software. Popular open source software tools include the Linux operating system, the Apache's HTTP web servers, the Mozilla Firefox web browser, and the Apache's OpenOffice desktop productivity suite. The Google's Android mobile operating system and Chrome web browser are based on open source tools. Linux, perhaps the most well-known open source software, is Linux, an operating system related to Unix. Linux was created by the Finnish programmer Linus Torvald and first posted on the internet in August 1991. Linux applications are embedded in a cell phone, smartphone, tablet, computer, and consumer electronics. Linux is available in a free version downloadable from the internet or in a low-cost commercial version that includes tools and support from vendors such as Red Hat. Although Linux is not used in many desktop systems, it is a leading operating system for server, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. Java is an operating system independent, processor independent, object-oriented programming language created by Sun Microsystems that has become the leading interactive programming environment for the web. Java is a high-level programming language. It is used on all sorts of devices. It uses a virtual machine, also known as the JVMs. This gives Java the ability to function on many platforms. How many people use it? Literally, almost over 3 billion devices run Java. HTML. HTML stands for the Hypertext Markup Language, and it is a standard markup language for creating a web page and a web application. It is also used to describe the structure of the web page using markup. HTML5. Now, the HTML5 is basically the fifth version of HTML, and it is a core technology markup language of the internet that is used for structuring and presenting the content for the World Wide Web. Now, HTML5 standard was finalized and released in 2014, and it is exactly what HTML should have been when the first version was launched all those years ago. Web service and service-oriented architecture. Web service, loosely coupled software component that use web communication standard, can exchange information between different systems regardless of operating system of a programming language. Web service technology is founded on established markup language XML. XML was developed as a more powerful markup language than hypertext markup language HTML, a page description language specifying how content appears on a web page. By marking data with XML tags, a computer can interpret, manipulate, and exchange data from a different system. Web services communicate through XML message over standard web protocols such as SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol. This it is a set of rules that are for structuring messages that enable application to pass data and instruction to one another. Second, the WSDL Web Service Description Language. It is a common framework for describing the task performed by a web service and the command and data it will accept so that it can be used by other applications. And lastly, UDDI Universal Description Discovery and Integration is enable a web service to be listed in a directory of web service so that it can be easily located. The figures show about how $rent a car use a web service. $rent a car system use a web service for its online booking system with Southwest Airlines website. Although both company systems are based on different technology platforms, a person booking a flight on Southwest.com can reserve a car from $1 without leaving the airline's website. Instead of struggling to get a dollar reservation system to share data with the Southwest Information System, Dollar use Microsoft.net web service technology as an intermediary. Reservations from Southwest are translated into a web service protocol, which are then translated into the formats that can be understood by dollar computers. Other car rental companies have linked their information system to airline companies' website before, but without a web service, this connection had to be built one at a time. Web service provide a standard way for dollar computers to talk to other company information system without having to build special link to each one. Dollar is now expanding its use of web service to link directly to the system of the small tower operator and a larger travel reservation system, as well as a wireless website for the cell phone and smartphone. It does not have to write new software code for each partner information system or each new wireless device. Software package and enterprise software. Software package. A commercial software package is a pre-written set of software programs for certain function, eliminating the need for a firm to write its own software program. Enterprise systems are so complex that a few corporations have the appetite to develop these in-house and instead rely on enterprise software packages from vendors such as SAP and PeopleSoft. An application service provider (ASP) is a business that delivers and manages application and computer service from remote computer centers to multiple users using the internet or a private network. The software is paid for typically on a per-user subscription or a per-transaction basis. Renting enterprise software avoids the expenses and difficulties of installing, operating, and maintaining the hardware and software needed for complex systems. While the software outsourcing is a firm contract custom software development or maintenance to outside firms, frequently firms operating in a low-wage area of the world. With the growing sophistication and experience of offshore firms, more and more new programs develop its outsourcers. Next, cloud-based software service and tool. What is SaaS? SaaS or software as a service. It is a service that offers on-demand pay-per-user of the application software to user, unlike licenses bulk program. This service is a platform independent and you don't need to install the software on your PC. The cloud runs a single instance of the software and make it available for multiple end users. This makes cloud computing cheap, and all the computing resources responsible for delivering SaaS are entirely managed by the vendor. This service is accessible via a web browser or lightweight client application. Who use SaaS? End customers are frequently users of SaaS. Example product and service of SaaS. Popular SaaS providers offer the following product and service: the Google ecosystem such as Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Drive, Microsoft Office 365, HR and help desk solution, and customer relationship management service such as Salesforce. In order to manage their relationship with outsourcers or technology service provider, firms need a contract that includes a service level agreement (SLA). The SLA is a formal contract between customer and their service provider that defines the specific responsibilities of the service provider and the level of service expected by the customer. Lastly, mashup and apps. A mashup in a web development is a web page or web application that uses content from more than one source to create a single new service display in a single graphical interface. For example, a user could combine the address and photograph of their library branches with a Google map to create a map mashup. The main characteristics of a mashup are combination, visualization, and aggregation. It is important to make existing data more useful for personal and professional use. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.